Hello Internet, and welcome to another episode of Bazzle Spot Live. Now we're going to be using this good old Trick Room team again. We've been using it, a little bit over the last couple of weeks. So I hope you're still enjoying, seeing it and seeing its lovely magic work out. Especially when it does work out. The amount of times people just sort of expect the explosion now, and it all goes horribly wrong, doesn't it? Sometimes, but we've had some decent games, so hopefully we're going to get some more good games. Fingers crossed too. And let's see how we go. We can only either win or lose, can't we? So so here we go. Finally, we find someone from the United States of America with an interesting team. Okay, now I think it might have been Monday last week. Might have been. I said that there was a #1 Pokemon that this team really does not like playing against, and it's there. It's Gigalith. Yeah, I've got a really hard time against Gigalith. I don't like it at all. And Snorlax, if that Snorlax has got Curse as well, it is almost unbeatable, really, with this team. So, I mean, it feels like it anyway, so the good thing about this is that, aside from Garchomp, Metagross looks really nice as a lead. So I think we will go with Metagross, and I think we'll go with Oranguru, I guess. The problem is, if his Gigalith is minimum speed, it will be slower than Snorlax. And in Trick Room, well, it can flinches, can't it? So, or just go for the big rock move onto it too. So, I don't know. I'm not liking the look of this, really. So I think we do want our own Torkoal, and I think Snorlax rather. I think we do want Torkoal as well, just for the Celesteela. But we're gonna really have to watch out for the Gigalith, really. So we'll see, I suppose. We'll see. Obviously the team isn't perfect yet. I mean, it is. I do like the team, like I've been saying. I do like this team. I feel pretty good with it, pretty solid with it. I am comfortable with, kind of hard Trick Room teams as well. Okay then. Garchomp and Aerodactyl. Could have Taunt, could have Skydrop, could Tectonic Rage, which is kind of what I'm expecting from Garchomp. So I'm going to Trick Room here, but it's just the Gigalith. He's going to switch into the Gigalith, isn't he? And there's not really anything that I can do to stop that. This is tricky. This is tricky. Yeah, I think. No, I'm going to protect this turn, and I'm going to Meteor Mash the Aerodactyl. We'll see what happens. Okay, so he does have Earthquake. He doesn't go for a Tectonic Rage. Metagross will survive this. That does look like a Scarfed Garchomp as well, as it goes before the Aerodactyl. We see a Skydrop, so we do see a Skydrop. Meteor Mash does hit. And expecting a Sash here. Yeah. So, yeah, ups and downs. Yeah, we don't really have anything that wants to take an Earthquake, that's the problem. And I suppose we'll try and Trick Room here, but I'm expecting he will Skydrop again. Garchomp, there's no reason why he shouldn't just sit in there Earthquaking over and over. Yeah. I suppose I could have sacrificed my Hariyama there, my Snorlax. I'm thinking Hariyama because I'm thinking it would have been nice to have Wide Guard here. That's why my brain said Hariyama there. But yeah, so now I will be able to Trick Room, and I'm gonna Belly Drum because Oranguru will survive this. I will get the Trick Room off, and Earthquake is not really doing too much, or shouldn't do too much to Snorlax. It will have to use my berry, but I will go back down to probably about, yeah, to about 40% just there after this Belly Drum. So we will get Trick Room. The problem is, he will have his Gigalith. I basically made this play sort of hoping that his Gigalith is not minimum speed, but it should be. So we'll just have to see how this plays out, I suppose, won't we? So here's the Trick Room. There's the Belly Drum. And I mean, really, he's not going to be switching in his Gigalith, is he? He will be letting it get a safe switch in. So I'll Side Shock the Aerodactyl, yeah, I'll Side Shock the Aerodactyl and return the Garchomp, I suppose. I don't think he'll switch it in, so if his Aerodactyl hasn't got Protect, he's potentially losing 2 Pokemon here. What else do they have in the back? Celesteela. That could take a return too. Yeah, so I am going to return the Garchomp, just because I have got Torkoal in the back, and you know, I don't want to mess around with getting Earthquaked, basically. Yeah, I'm pretty sure he will have the Gigalith in the back, and it should be slower than my Snorlax. So that is the problem. The good thing is I can Protect and maybe switch in my Torkoal, which will get rid of his sand, and I will be able to Solar Beam it, but Solar Beam isn't going to one-shot Gigalith. I mean, again, I could just hope that his Gigalith isn't minimum speed. He didn't have any Trick Room options on his team, but if you're going to be using a Gigalith, then you should really be using it minimum speed. Just for other Trick Room teams. Yeah, and here's a Snorlax too, so yeah, this is this isn't good. Yeah, this is not good at all. I mean, a Rock Slide shouldn't knock out my Snorlax, but a big rock thing, that move, Continental Crush, that will knock out Snorlax, if he has got that. So I'm going to switch Oranguru into Torkoal, and I'm going to try and high horsepower the Gigalith. Yeah, and fingers crossed, but I'm sure the Gigalith will be slower. But, I don't know, I mean, we'll see how it plays out. Anything can happen. Almost. Yeah, so this looks like a Z move. This is, yeah, this has got to be, yeah, this is the one I was fearing. So, we're losing Snorlax. His Snorlax, if it's got Curse, then, you know, like I said, it's game over pretty much. This is very, very hard for me to deal with. Gigalith and Snorlax together, it is very hard for me to deal with. So we'll see, and it is Curse, yeah. So that is exactly what I didn't want to see. Yeah, I just cannot handle that. This team cannot handle Curse Snorlax just by itself, to be honest. Let alone the things that are with it. So, yeah. Okay, so I'll try and Solar Beam the Gigalith, because Torkoal can survive one high horsepower. And we'll just try and Protect here. Yeah, there's not really anything that Oranguru can do. Aside from try and reverse a Trick Room, but yeah, I don't think that would really get us anywhere. Yeah, I mean, Gigalith might even Protect here too, so I mean, I suppose I need to hope that a critical hit will knock out maybe the Gigalith. Yeah, so he does high horsepower. I mean, that could miss as well, obviously, and sort of need to hope that it does. At least we get the Solar Beam onto the Gigalith here. But I don't think it's really going to make too much of a difference. Oh yeah, critical hit might have knocked it out there. Another 90% accurate move, unfortunately hits us. And yeah, Metagross can't protect, so it will just go straight down to any attacks he wants to go for. Yeah, maybe he'll go for a high horsepower instead of a return onto the Metagross. That can miss, I suppose. Rock Slide can miss. So I suppose the game isn't 100% over yet, but I'm pretty sure it is. So I'm gonna go for an explosion, and it doesn't really matter what we do here, does it? No, not really. He does go straight for the frustration. Into the Oranguru, okay. Well, we've lost the game then because we're losing, because we're exploding. So whatever happens here, he does actually Stone Edge, so we might survive that. Nope, we don't. We just go down. All right. Well, what a wonderful way to start this video. Yay. So all right, we'll look for another game and we'll see what happens. So yeah, in a way I'm kind of glad that you got to see that, because that is probably, like, those two Pokemon, they are the two worst things this team can come up against. Curse Snorlax and Gigalith. This team just cannot deal with them. Yeah, I mean, okay, so I've got Hariyama. Okay, I've got Metagross as well. So, you know, Close Combat is obviously very super effective on both of them. Metagross does alright against both of them, but if I get Trick Room up, then they're going to be faster. If I don't get Trick Room up, then I suppose in that battle they didn't really have too much to punish those with. I don't know. I could have played that better. I could have played it differently. I could have taken different Pokemon, but those two are the worst Pokemon that team can come against. But you know, whatever. We'll find someone from the United Kingdom with another interesting looking team, a Persian. Antabifini and other bits and bobs as well. So Metagross does look quite threatened here. So I'm not thinking Metagross is going to be nice here. So I'm going to take Oranguru, and I think we might want to lead with Torkoal here. I think I want Snorlax in the back, and I think I want Hariyama. So Hariyama, maybe a few of these battles we should have been taking your wide body and big hands to guide us to victory. I don't know, but yeah, we've not been using Hariyama very much, have we? So maybe this is gonna work out for us a little bit better now. So yeah, kind of expected either a Persian or Arcanine lead to deal with Metagross. He actually does lead with Ninetales too, so you know he's losing his Hail straight away. So no Aurora Veil for you. But which one? What's he gonna do? Like, I led with this with the intention of, okay, I can sort of protect and switch into Hariyama and then fake out in Trick Room. But do I really need to do that? Because what can he do to Torkoal here? He can't do anything to it, can he? So, like a foul play, it's not going to do much. Blizzard, no, he's not going to do that. Maybe he'll put in his Tapu Fini for his Ninetales. So, I mean, really, I just want to try and go for a Trick Room and Erupt here. I mean, it seems like a really sort of straightforward and simple move. Like, I'm not really thinking about it at all, but like, if I was going to try and make some predictions, maybe I'd Solar Beam the Ninetales. But no, he's just taunting. And, you know, I did consider that, and I'm not worried about that because I got the Mental Herb. So, yeah, things are looking okay so far. Moonblast is not something that you see every day on Ninetales. So, we've stumbled into this part of the ladder, it seems. And, yeah, look at that, wow. That's what happens when you don't when you don't harm Torkoal, when you just let it sit there and erupt all over you. Now we have got Trick Room up, and we can just erupt all over you again. I mean, what if you got Arcanine, which resists my attacks? Type of Finny was the other one that was potentially a problem, wasn't it? Yeah, and here it is. So, okay. Now the interesting thing about this is because we actually used, and this situation doesn't normally come about because the first time Torkoal attacks is normally in Trick Room. Torkoal has just attacked, so what we can actually do is go for an Instruct on the Torkoal to get an Eruption off, and go for a Solar Beam onto the Tapu Fini. So he's going to be eating a Solar Beam and an Eruption. It does mean that if his Ninetale switches out as well, which he kind of had to, whatever comes in is going to be taking an attack too. So I like this. This is better than. Oh, I'm silly. I'm really silly. Okay, so this is why we've never had this position before, because it just doesn't happen. Yeah, you can't Instruct Solar Beam. I do know this, and you're about to see right now. Yeah, it fails. So, yeah, for some reason I thought that I would be able to Instruct the Eruption first, and then get the Solar Beam, but as I'm sure you're all probably sitting there thinking, oh no, silly Barry, you've made a mistake. Yep, I made a mistake. So, whoops. Oh dear. But I'm not too worried because I can just go for a Psyshock and Solar Beam into the Tapu Fini. Tapu Fini might protect, probably will protect, but what is the worst thing Arcanine can do? Snarl, I suppose. But even still, a Solar Beam and Psyshock might take the Tapu Fini out. So he doesn't know, okay, so he doesn't even do that. So, yeah, I think we should be okay here. Tapu Fini should survive this. Or not, actually. Okay. So the Psyshock's going to be going on to the Arcanine then. Whack it with your leaves. Psychic leaves. And, okay, so we does Snarl. And how many turns at Trick Room have we got left? And how long is his Ninetale stick around for, really? Those are the questions. Pretty sure we have still got Snorlax in the back as well, so this has been a pretty quick game. So if we can end this one in the next minute or so, then how about we have a look for another one? Let's have a bumper Wednesday again. So yeah, 2 turns of Trick Room left. So yeah, and I'll just check. Yeah, I've got 2 Pokemon in the back, Snorlax and Hariyama. So yeah, we'll just go for a Psyshock and an Eruption. Got to imagine the Ninetales is going to protect here, or you got to imagine it's just going to forfeit here, to be honest. Oh, not. Okay. So his prerogative, obviously. Yeah, the game it's over. So we'll start looking for another game as soon as we can do. And yeah, is this turning into a bit of a tradition, having 3 games on the Wednesdays video? Who knows? Who knows? So yeah, it means nothing now. Hopefully, please forfeit, Mr. Chat from the UK. This is just a bit of a waste of time otherwise. So yeah, whatever. Attack. Does he actually think he can win here? Like, I don't know. Like, it's up to him if he wants to do this. You know, it's part of the game, obviously, but I don't know. I suppose he doesn't know what I've got in the back, but even still, I've got 2 Pokemon that haven't been touched in the back. They're gonna win this game, aren't they? In fact, maybe this is the turn he's actually gonna knock out my Oranguru. Does it actually matter? Nope. Snarl, yeah, didn't think that was going to knock it out. So we'll get Trick Room. And do you think he's going to protect again the next turn? This is so frustrating, isn't it? When people do this, like they've clearly lost the game. Like I'm not, I'm not trying to offend the guy or anything. Maybe it's just like a boy, a junior or something that's just playing this, and just wants to sort of see what happens when the game goes on. But it is a little bit frustrating, especially when you're recording and just want to get into the next one. So we'll put Hariyama in. We'll let Hariyama get a knockout. Unless Toko gets a critical hit. Oh, there we go. Finally, he forfeits. Oh, okay. So yeah, we'll look for another one, and we'll try and end on a high. On a higher high, I suppose. That didn't feel like much of a high, did it? That one. Just felt a bit, So let's start. No, we don't want to save that video. Ugh. Gonna have to find the blooming things and delete that now, aren't I? Okay, so we'll look for one more game, and hopefully we'll try and we very easily just sort of glided into 1,600, and then we just sort of hit. Like I have done, some other games as well, but I just sort of hit this sort of barrier where I don't know, all sorts of random stuff, a bit like this, keeps cropping up in front of us. I mean, I don't mind the look of this. I mean, this looks pretty cool, to be honest. So, yeah, this is going to be a pretty cool game, hopefully. But, I don't know, it's just other random stuff that's been happening. But, either way, okay, 2 potential fake outs. Like, his team is obviously quite Trick Room oriented as well. Okay. I will have the slowest things, though. So, like, my 2 slow things down here are slower than his Drampa. One of the good things about going against other sort of Trick Room teams is that my Metagross is going to be faster than most of that team. So, Metagross looks pretty nice here. So I'm actually pretty tempted to go with Hariyama and Metagross. With Torkoal and Snorlax rather, and Oranguru in the back. So I'm not going to take Torkoal to this game. He has got 2 water types, so it would be nice, obviously, to reduce their attacks. But he has got Drampa, and that's normally got Cloud 9, or sometimes has Cloud 9. And I think we should be okay how we are, but I don't know, this feels quite strange. Like, we're actually not leading with Oranguru in this game, which doesn't normally happen. It's a very rare occurrence, this. But let's see how it works out for us. If it will indeed work out for us. So, Incineroar Slowbro, maybe he is going to be the one going for a Trick Room here. You never know. But my Metagross should be faster than Incineroar, unless that Incineroar is, like, jolly. So I am going to try and go for a Fake Out onto the Slowbro. If he goes for a Fake Out on my Hariyama, fair enough. I'm going to go for a Hammer Arm onto his Incineroar. Or, what I could do is, I could go for an Explosion and switch into my Oranguru. Now that seems like a pretty swanky play, doesn't it? But if he goes for a Fake Out into Metagross, he gets Trick Room up. And yeah, okay, so maybe it is better just to go for a Fake Out into the Slowbro. And go for a Hammer Arm into the Incineroar. So he has got a Fake Out. And it is into the Hariyama. Okay, so he should be losing his Incineroar here. And that was the first time I ever clicked Hammer Arm. Okay. Well. What are we doing then? Let's hope that Hariyama can survive a Psychic then from Slowbro and Close Combat the Incineroar. I should be faster in Trick Room. And I will put my own Snorlax in here because I am locked into Hammer Arm. And we can try and maybe get some things going with Snorlax. Snorlax was slower than all of his things. The Incineroar might even just switch out too, but nothing is going to want to take a +1 close combat. So I'm hoping that Psychic doesn't knock out Hariyama if he has got Psychic. Or Scald, okay. Into that slot, okay. And of course he burns me too. Which is wonderful. Incineroar, yeah, that bar was going down a little bit slow for my liking, but it went down all the way, which is the main thing. If he's got Drampa, he's probably going to be bringing that in now, just because he wants something slower to go and knock out my Hariyama first. Slowbro, it's not a commonly used Pokemon, but I have used it a little bit myself, and Psychic isn't really a move that you can always fit onto it, so it might not have Psychic. This has been a bit of a blooming rum video, hasn't it? You know, that last game and the Hammer Arm just there. That was really, literally the first time I've ever collected Hammer Arm with this Metagross, and it decides to do that to me. Wonderful. Snorlax is burnt as well now. Oh dear. Isn't this great? So I've got Metagross, I've got Oranguru in the back, so his Muck is actually a bit of a problem here. So I'm going to go for a close combat and a high horsepower into the Muck. I am burnt, so a high horsepower won't do 50% to the Muck. The Muck might protect here, but I'm hoping it doesn't. Ice Beams, okay. Well, that's not going to knock anything out. And the combination of these attacks hopefully will knock the Muck out. So again, this is a +1 close combat. And yes, it does good. So it's always nice when you get to knock the Muck out before it activates its berry. So, right, well he got the Trick Room up and we're sort of taking advantage with it now. The problem is, we've got a banded Metagross in the back that can't protect if things get a bit sticky, if these two get knocked out. And Oranguru in the back doesn't really offer any offensive pressure as well. Yeah, and this is a Drampa that I was kind of worried about. So Hariyama has become very important here. So I'm going to switch it out into my own Oranguru. And return one of them. I don't think I want to be belly drumming here, even though it would give me some offensive pressure. I'm just going to return into the Slowbro, I think, because if I do get into the position that I want, a close combat will just knock out the Drampa, and getting damage on the Slowbro is going to be the tricky bit, I think. So he does Scald straight into the what was the Hariyama slot. Doesn't burn me, which is nice. That return does hardly nothing. Okay. So Snorlax, yeah, you're looking nice and healthy now, but it is still burnt. It is leftovers on the Slowbro too. And how many turns? Is it 2 turns of Trick Room left? 1 turn of Trick Room left. Okay, so this is the turn really that I'd want to get Hariyama in. So I hope he knocks out one of my Pokemon here, to be honest. I hope he does. I'm gonna just go for... Oh, this is tricky actually, because... if I get Hariyama in, I'm gonna have to prevent him from getting Trick Room up. So that means I'll have to knock off into the Slowbro. And that means his Drampa will get to knock out my Hariyama. And I won't be able to do anything about it. A knockoff might not even knock out that Slowbro. I mean, it won't, will it, from there? So maybe Maybe a knockoff and a return combination of attacks. Maybe I put Metagross in and explode. Maybe I put Metagross in and explode. I don't think the Slowbro is going to have Protect. I'm going to put the Metagross in and I'm going to explode. He did see Hammer Arm. I could just go for a Hammer Arm, couldn't I? Because that Drampa might Protect. No, I'm going to explode. I'm thinking that even if the Drampa does Protect here, this explosion should hopefully knock Slowbro out. But there's no Protect going on here. So, is this an explosion to win the game? I think it might be. Let's see. Yes, it is. Nice one. Oof. Metagross, you made up for your Hammer Arm miss there. Wow, that was quite a tense game. And I really took advantage of his Trick Room a lot more than he did. So, yeah, interesting video that we've had here. Some strange games going on. So I hope you've enjoyed this video, guys. Please like and share, and get the channel out there a bit more. Obviously, I appreciate all of your help when you do that. So thank you very much, and goodbye for now.